Hi guys, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Sister Yuli and this assignment required us to work as a group to make a podcast about the novel The Sacred Garden. Here we are asked to share our idea from the novel that we have. I have two other friends who will introduce themselves later. So on my part, I have my topic that I'm going to share with you about how the author uses the type of literature in his novel. I choose some types of literature from the novel, like the setting and the character. First, the setting. In the novel of Sacred Garden, we have two places that I'm going to share you. The first is in India. The story begins in India where Mary's family lived, and Mary was born in a place with a rich family. But it is an unhappy place for young Mary because Mary is ignored by her parents. She lived as an unhappy girl who was just cared for by the servants and not by her parents, and unloved by her parents. In that place also, Mary was abandoned by her parents because her parents died due to a pandemic. The second place here is Yorkshire, England. After the death of Mary's parents, Mary is sent to Yorkshire, England to live with her uncle. In that place, Mary discovers new things in her life. She finds a new friend, and they are Martha, Deacon, Colin, Ben, a gardener, and Robin, a bird. Mary is also curious about the Sacred Garden. She then found a key to enter into Sacred Garden. In that place also, Mary found the happiness that she never had before. And the second type here is characters. There are four characters that I choose from this novel. First, Mary. Mary is one of the two protagonists in the Sacred Garden novel. She is a 10 years old who is abandoned by her parents after the death of her parents in India, and then she is sent to Yorkshire, England to live with her uncle. In the story of the Sacred Garden novel, Mary is called as a spoiled girl, ugly, ill-tempered, sore-faced at all times, and also an unloving girl. The hatefulness Mary has is not precisely in her, but the mistakes of her parents, especially her mother. Her mother ignores and refuses to meet her because of her ugliness and sickness, and lets the servant take care of her, Mary. Mary remains standoffish and rude because of the wretched circumstances of her childhood. But when she transfers to Yorkshire, England, Mary begins to improve because of the presence of Martha and others. She becomes active and she is very happy, living her life with the new family in England. The second character here is Colin Craven. Colin is also one of the protagonists in the story of the Sacred Garden. Colin is a 10 years old boy who is abandoned by his mother when his mother dies after giving birth to him. Colin also is ignored by his father because of his unhealthy physical body and is treated as an invalid by his father since his birth. But in the end, by the help of Mary, he begins to improve. He begins to be optimistic that he can recover, and he won his father's love. The third here is Martha. Martha is Mary's friend and maid servant. Martha is called as a kind and simple person. In her simplicity and kindness, Martha is ready to help Mary upon the latest arrival. She helps Mary to change her way of doing and thinking, not like an Indian anymore. And the fourth here is Deacon. Deacon is a brother of Martha, and he is older than Mary and Martha. Deacon has lived on Misalmo his entire life and has an uniquely intimate relationship with the land. He has the power to charm both animals and peoples. Like in this story, He has a friend, and that is Robin. Robin is a bird. Deacon then becomes a friend of Mary and Colin. So this is my part that I have shared to you.
Thank you, Sister Juliana. Now is my part. I also have an opinion and some impression after reading the Secret Garden novel. But first, I want to introduce. My name is Evarista Mali. In my opinion, the Secret Garden novel is one of the best children's novels of all time. A little recalling the novels that I read. After the deaths of her parents in India, Mary, the spoiled woman, was sent to her uncle's house in England. But the uncle was never home to accompany her. Mary spent her time exploring the large houses and yards until she finally found a way into a garden. Secret Garden, together with Deacon, who reportedly can talk to animals and can grow anything, Mary takes care of the Secret Garden. Later, Colin, Mary's cousin, who was seriously ill, joined them. Experiences in the Secret Garden slowly change Mary's phases and teach her many life lessons. The plot used in this children's novel forward thought. The author's way of describing the characters in this story is quite simple and can be clearly understood. At the beginning of the story, Mary is described as a spoiled, rude, and angry girl. However, with the passage of time and the adventures that occurred, Mary began to change her character. The author inserts a variety of messages in this novel Secret Garden. Among them is a message about friendship and also a message about us who must always be passionate about living this life. The interesting thing in this novel is that the story is simple and flows as it is. The author has also success in inviting us to visit exotic places in Misselthwaite just by reading this novel. This novel also presents simple conflicts that are suitable for children. The classic cover is also very attractive. But unfortunately, there are some writing errors that occur, and many types of flowers that are rarely found or even don't grow in Indonesia. And since the author didn't describe the flowers further, we cannot share in the beauty of flowers. But overall, this novel is quite captivating and contains quite touching moral values. This novel is very, very worthy to be read by anyone, especially children, because the contents of this novel are very educational. Stories of rebellious little girls and spoiled six boys, how the magic of Secret Garden, cheerful forests of fairies, turn them into sweet and lovable children are indeed good reading for young children. Lots of moral messages that can be taken from this novel for children. The message to be conveyed in this novel actually simple about how our life is very dependent on the way. If we think positively, of course, we will definitely get more positive and happier things. The details in the story are impressive and the story is beautiful, clear, simple, but touching. The ending is also very sweet. The setting is beautiful. Read this novel so remember childhood. They are secret with friends, fighting because of problems that are not important, running in the neighbor's garden, and many other interesting things. I think just that a little review of the novel The Secret Garden from me. On the next opportunity, I leave in to my friend Christina to share her opinion as well as to end this conversation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Sister Yuli and Evarista for your opinion. Your opinion is very good. Here, I'm Christine. I also have an opinion after reading the Secret Garden novel. Here, I will briefly explain the Secret Garden novel, like what it contains, and also the message for us. The Secret Garden is a novel by Frances Hodgson Burnett. The Secret Garden novel tells the story of the life of Mary Lennox, which is colored by various tragedies. Mary Lennox was born in India. Mary from birth grew and up without the love of his parents. Even took living in a well-off family. Mary is child the parents do not want. Poor fate of this woman, so that now she is little girl, who is often sweetly sour, cynical, selfish because of that. Do not be afraid even if they try to separate us. Just remember that they are not God, who has the power to determine everything. I feel sad when reading this novel. Besides that, plus Mary being orphaned because of a major event where his village was attacked by a deadly cholera pandemic, which also took the whole family Mary. But here, Mary lucky to be saved by an officer. After the incident, Mary living orphaned because both parents have died. Mary returned to India and lived with his uncle there. His uncle's life is well off. Mary living with his uncle in a fairly large and quiet house. During the course of life, one time Mary found Colin, who was enlarged up for about 10 years. Mary and Colin are now friends. All his life, Colin was always sick. His life story is not far different from Mary. With their meeting, they always support and strengthen each other. Mary continued to encourage Colin, who was often sick. Teaches us that friends are also very important people in our life. When I see the life of these two children, Mary and Colin, I feel sad and sad because although they experience a lot of rejection from their own parents and feel no love at all from their parents, but they are still persistent in facing, and they try not to fall into sadness and suffering. However, the brain does not give up to survive. In this novel, there are sentences which are contains that is bound to culture. The language explains by Mary Lennox. Pig, pig, pig. This word is not very good in my opinion. Calling someone a pig is the first insult of all. In life, we have to take care of our neighbor's feelings no matter how much they wrong us. The plots used in this children's novel forward plot. The writer describes the character clearly and easily understood by a reader. After reading this novel, I take a little message for us about how life is very dependent of the way we see life itself. Okay, I think that's a little review about the Secret Garden novel from the three of us. Enjoy listening.